So in the previous video we have already defined derived the stress tensor sigma ij. Let me just write it once again. And in this video our goal is to derive the stress tensor for a fluid element at rest. Okay, so if we want to write our stress tensor in a simplified manner, what we can do is we can align the axis to the principal axis. So the principal axis are those axes in which only the normal component of the stress is acting and there are no shear stress acting on a fluid element. So basically I can the stress tensor simplifies to sigma 11 dash, only sigma 22 dash and sigma 33 dash, with the property that sigma 11 dash plus sigma 22 dash plus sigma 33 dash is equal to sigma 11 plus sigma 12 or sigma 22 plus sigma 33. So these are the principal stresses acting. These are the principal stresses, sigma 11 dash, sigma 22 dash, sigma 33 dash, and they are related to the stress of the previous stress tensor matrix, that is. So like we can also write it as sigma ii in the index notation. Okay, so if we are saying our fluid element is at rest, so our fluid is at rest. Okay, so we can say this can be the stress tensor for the fluid element. So we will first of all express this as summation of two stress tensors. We can write it is like say 1 by n sigma ii 0 0, 1 by n sigma ii 0 0, and 1 by n sigma ii plus sigma 11 dash minus 1 upon n sigma ii 0 0 0, sigma 22 dash minus 1 upon n sigma ii 0 0 0. So by a simple matrix algebra we can say that this 2 will give this. So here 1 by n is an arbitrary way of writing. So if the fluid element is, yes, so I was saying that if our fluid element is exposed to this type of stress tensor, so basically what it is, so this is an expression of normal stress acting on the fluid element, and all the normal stress are equal in nature. So like if the fluid element is this and this is these are the three directions, so this force will be, this stress would be this equal, this stress is this, yeah, and this would be equal to this. So we can say that the fluid element is being applied equal forces in all direction or equal stresses in all direction. So the net it would so if this type of stress is acting on the fluid element, we can say that the fluid element would be at rest, because from every direction equal and opposite forces are acting on the fluid element. Okay, so now we need to see what type of deformation or what type of forces this stress tensor would be acting, would making a change in the fluid element. So like if the fluid element is this, so there would be some in the x direction, in this y direction, in z x direction, and some in the z direction. Okay, so first of all our observation is this, that the sum of the diagonal elements of this of this tensor is 0. So basically, if I'm saying if this is in positive direction, if I'm saying some direction to be a positive, so if this is in positive direction and this is in positive direction, then this quantity definitely has to be negative, so as to make the whole summation 0. So at least one of the stress or one of the normal stress have to be in the opposite direction. What do I mean by opposite? So if the two stress are contracting in nature, one stress would try to pull the fluid element apart. So this is a simplified version of a 2D case. In 3D case, like I can assume is to be this. So in x direction and z direction, there are normal stresses acting on the fluid particle such the way that they are trying to contract it, and this is trying to expand it. So if this type of stress tensor, this type of stress tensor cannot make the fluid element at rest, because at least one of the normal stresses would either be trying to expand it or either be trying to contract it. So if we are saying that a fluid element has to be rest, this component must be 0. So for a fluid element at rest, we can say that the sigma ij must to be minus p times delta ij. And in the case of hydrostatic force, in a static fluid pressure, this P has to be minus 1/3 delta Ij. So we have like sigma Ij is equal to 1/3. Yes, so we can let the sigma Ij is 1/3 sigma I delta Ij for the fluid element at rest. So the two matrix that we defined earlier, which were sigma I, 1/3 sigma I, 1/3 sigma I. So this matrix is called an isotropic matrix, isotropic tensor. And the other matrix what is called deviatoric tensor. So the stress tensor is an isotropic tensor for a fluid element at rest. So this condition is when the fluid element is at rest. Then the stress tensor is isotropic.